Hey, what's going on? Bear vs. Wolf, everybody. Thanks for checking out the video. Today I'm going to basically just compare and contrast using a multi-effects pedal into an amp versus using just different, analog pedals basically all the way through. They're probably not all analog, some digital effects there, but regular pedals basically going into an amp. So I have a Headrush MX5 I've been using for a couple months and maybe a year. And I've been wanting to see how that compares to just regular pedals going into the amp. And so that's what I'm going to do today. Basically, I'm just going to use three sounds. I'm going to use a clean sound, which will be pretty much the same. The amp, by the way, is a Friedman Runt. We're just going to use it on the clean channel only. You could put it on the heavy channel and get the same sound. Between the two, I mean. I am using the Headrush effects in basically 4-cable method. So I'm going straight into it. I'm going to use the drives, the digital drives off of the MX5, and then using the effects loop of both the MX5 and the Friedman to get the reverb and the delay sounds that I want. So I want to see which sounds better using regular drives, real drives, quote unquote, and a real reverb and a real delay pedal versus the digital in here. Obviously, the MX5 can do a whole hell of a lot more stuff than just my little baby pedal board over here, and I'll show you a shot of it. But for now, I'm just using a couple gains, like an easy drive, a heavier drive, a reverb, and a delay. And that's really mostly what I want when I just want to sit down and kind of practice or play along to some tracks or something. And then, by the way, I'm using a Bugera Power Soak PS1 in the effects loop, in between the amp and the cabinet. I'm listening to the cabinet. You're going to be listening to just the cab sim out of the Friedman Runt has just an XLR out. So that's going to affect the sound a little bit, but it affects the sound for both. So, I mean, it's only going to affect my sound. You're not going to hear that. But, of course, people say it takes some of the brightness off the top end and stuff. So basically, let's get to it. I'm going to play like a clean, a slightly driven sort of sound, and then more of like a leady tone for the MX5, and then I'm going to do the same thing with the regular pedals, and I'll explain a little bit what I'm doing as I go, but for the most part, it's just going to be listening from here on out. So tell me what you think. I'll tell you what I think at the end. Okay, so here is just the flat-out clean sound that I have. Obviously using the PRS Silver Sky. This is just an SE, not the American version. That was completely dry, the Friedman Runt on the clean channel. This is with reverb. All right, so the Verb, MX5 reverb. This is a small plate. All right, we're going to add a little bit of delay. Kick that on. Right, bucket brigade style. All right, so that's basically the clean. Sounds pretty good. Little bit maybe lacking some girth or some wideness. I'm not sure if that's because of the plate or the digital effects. Here is just a little bit of drive. not bad. Maybe missing some top end or something. It's a little bit kind of boxy or something sounding. All right, you can hear there's some noise there, probably. Quite a bit. There is a noise gate in here. I just turned it completely off because I just wanted to hear. So, obviously some noise. We go off the single channel. That kind of gets rid of a lot of it. So if you're using some humbuckers, it might alleviate some of that. Again. So not bad sound. I have a wah set up, so I got a wah on my board too, so why not? Goes back to a volume pedal if you take it off. So that's it. I could, because of the way I'm set up. Let's try it real quick and see how the volume might get a little weird here. I'm just going to switch to the gain of the amplifier. Up a little bit, at least in the room. A little bit lower. So that's the amps gain. So you can get a feel. It's still got the noise, maybe a little less noise when you just use the amps gain. Kind of prefer that. I've used it quite a bit in just the effects loop only. So I use the MX5 as just the delay and the reverb, and then just use the gain from the amp. You can't then, well, you can still add a pedal to the front of it, but you could just use it in the effects loop too. So that's what the sound of the MX5 is through the Friedman Runt. And let's go to pedals. So here we are with the pedals straight in. Immediately, just going back from A to B, I feel like it's brighter, 100% brighter. So now we're just going through the little pedal board. I've got 3 pedals. I've got a wah, I've got a Sweet Cream from Tone City. I've got an MXR Classic Overdrive. I've got a Behringer Vintage delay. You might see up here I've got a Brig. I don't want to use the Brig because that thing is like almost $300, and that's like the price of the MX5. The MX5 might be like $500 new or something like that, but you can get them for like $300, $350, somewhere in there. So I took that out of the chain for now. I have a Behringer digital delay, just the VD400, and then I've got a Behringer digital reverb. So basically, you're looking at, take the wah out of there for now. The Sweet Cream was like 30 bucks, 40 bucks or something like that. I don't even know. It was 30 bucks. The overdrive, I can't remember, but it's like in the 75, the MXR5 75. So it was about 100 bucks. The vintage delay, I think, was 30. Brand new, by the way. And the digital reverb, the Behringer DR600, was 50 bucks, I think. Also brand new. So you're looking at, what is that, 100? So even if you put the wah back in the chain, I've got a 95Q Dunlop, which is a auto wah, you know, like a switchless wah. I think it was like 100 bucks back in the day. I'm not sure you can even get them anymore, but that's what I love about it. It's a switchless. And then, so forget that, just the two drives, that's 100 bucks, and then the other two pedals, 30 and 50. You're like 180 bucks. Oh, power supply. I have a Donner power supply, which I think was like 40 bucks or something like that to power the little board here. So 200, 220, somewhere in there, right? Versus a $500 MX5. Now, of course, the MX5 can do more stuff. I'm not really debating that. I'm just like, in the things I use, a little drive, a lot of drive, reverb, delay, what sounds better just to sit here and play? So already, brighter, right? Here is the reverb. Now, I'm not trying to match exactly what I have. I did put it on the plate setting just to match the fact that there was a plate. I'm not trying to like tone match or anything like that. Need like a little bit more volume in the room. Shouldn't affect you, but bit brighter, maybe a hair more top end on that reverb. You can adjust the tone on either of them. So again, I do think the clean already sounds better. It sounds more like that amp does. I'm going through it using Kettner with a vintage 30, just a 1x12, but you're not hearing that anyway, so. Okay, so here's the delay. I do think this vintage delay is supposed to be modeled after like a bucket brigade type thing. And I have to say, it sounds damn good. I mentioned the brig earlier. I got that because this vintage delay sounds great. It's short. It's very, very short. So I just wanted something longer, and so the brig has that. It's also an amazing pedal in itself, but go check that out. But it also has tap tempo. So that's it. So I'll have to go back and kind of check, and so I'm not like tricking myself here. But already I sort of feel like it's warmer. That might be just total BS. But I really do think it just sounds fuller. Now, it could be a gain staging thing. You have to sort of set the pedal of the Headrush, the volume of the Headrush, to meet the effects loop in the right way. And then I've also got the plate in there, or the hot plate, the power soak. So you have to set this all kind of right. Now, I'm just sort of going on what I hear from the amp in the room. And I'll adjust the gains accordingly in Pro Tools so that you're not getting like a volume jump here. But at the same volume, and I hopefully you know, I'm not, again, trying to tone match the delay sound or anything. I just put it to where I kind of like it just now. It sounds more lush to me. You know, it's those things. It's like, do we hear it? or is it total BS? You know, I don't know. I mean, because these are both digital. I'm guessing. I'll check for sure on that vintage delay, but I don't think it's analog for 30 bucks. The Brig is, I believe. But sounds great. I think the one thing I notice is that when I turn up the level of either the reverb or the delay, I get more of it in the right way. I think you get with the effects, with the multi-effects, you turn up reverb, but it doesn't like give you more reverb. It kind of like starts washing things way out. I think you get a nicer mix and a nicer blend using, I'm still using 4-cable method, by the way. I'm going into the front of the drives, in and out of the drives, and then in and out of the effects loop and into the verb and the delay of the Friedman. It sounds almost more upfront. Definitely brighter. All right, so let's move on. All right, so here is the Sweet Cream. Whoop. Here goes my tuner. This is just a little bit of drive setting. Turn off the delay for a second. Sounds killer. That Sweet Cream pedal is worth every cent it's worth. If you haven't seen like Anderton's talk about them, whatever the Tone City stuff, that pedal's unbelievable. I've always wanted that sort of. I'm a big Dispatch fan. I feel like that's kind of that sound. You put it on the single coil. Get a little brighter. You do the split thing, the double John Mayer dual. I'm not gonna play that. I just love that tone. Little wah. A little bit fuller, maybe. Okay, so here's moving right along, a little bit more drive sound. A little bit of buzz, but not quite as much as before. A little bit less. Just sounds like it's just more fun to play. It just sounds like the amp with drive on it. With these other ones, with the MX5, you put a little bit of drive on something, and it sounds like it sucks it down, it compresses it, like, you know, you get drive, but you get like all this gnarliness too. I'm not talking about modeling either. I'm not using the modeling at all in the MX5. I hope I mentioned that, or that's clear. I'm not using any modeling, any amps in the MX5. I'm using the effects, the drives, and the delays and the reverbs. That's it. So it's not modeling versus, you know, not modeling. We're using the Friedman either way. Has a little bit more of a roar. It's obviously not the exact same pedal that was being modeled in the other device there. Sorry, my ISO is kind of going out of control here. Hopefully that doesn't look insane. All right, let's stack them real quick with a little bit of delay. Probably, all right, I'm just playing around now. All right, so I'm going to listen back real quick and see what if I can hear the differences. Or in the room, to me, I think I'm picking pedals over the MX5. Again, you can do a lot more with the MX5. If you need it for a specific reason, it's great. It's really an amazing little thing for what you can do with it, especially if you use 4-cable method. I love that. And you know, I kind of bought it just to have something to jam on. I was never going to gig out with it or anything like that, but I'm leaning more back towards the pedal things here just because of the versatility of the drives and stuff. I didn't go into here real quick. Let's do, again, that's way loud, but make sure I'm not clipping you out here. That's loud. That's just the runts gain, Friedman's gain. Sounds great. If you're not aware, Friedmans are incredible, but the runt is great. It has the direct out, which is great. I don't think they all have that, like Pink Taco doesn't have that. So the runt is a beast. Here is the MXR stacked in front of the Friedman. Sounds really, really good. Stacked pedals in front of the Friedman on its gain channel. Sounds really good. All right, this has gone on way longer than I ever imagined it would. So maybe we'll edit it down, and I'll be right back with some thoughts on the sounds. Here we go. All right, so a real quick overview or recap kind of a thing here. In listening back through Pro Tools, they sound very similar. The reverbs are a little bit different in levels and stuff. I don't find like a huge difference in tonality on the clean stuff, because again, you're listening to the Friedman amp and the same guitar and everything. The verbs sound like a little bit different. The delay sounds a little bit different, maybe a little bit more delay. I had the vintage pedal a little bit higher than the effects unit, but I wouldn't say it's like overwhelmingly nuts. Where I do hear the biggest difference is when you go to use like a bigger drive sound in the MX5 and it compresses down way hard. The Friedman or even the pedals out here, I think edge that out. They beat it pretty soundly, I'd say. The sound just shrinks when you add more gain and stuff. And I tried to level match in Pro Tools here, so you shouldn't be getting too much jumps. I adjusted all the gains so that you're getting pretty much a clear level when you hear everything. So hopefully that comes across. But mostly, yeah, the heavy gain sound in the pedal is not that exciting. Now again, it's still on top of the Friedman, so you're still getting the Friedman. I'm not using an amp sim. But the pedals sound good. My favorite, that at the very end there, if you made it that far, I was using both my, the MXR drive pushing the Friedman's gain section for that lead tone with that delay and stuff. And that's what I'm doing it for, to be able to sit and practice leads and stuff. That to me sounded incredible. It sounded way better than anything that the MX5 could produce. So at the end of the day, there's a lot of things the MX5 can do that you might need or want. For me, I think I'm selling it. I think that's going on eBay or Reverb here shortly. The pedals, and I think for probably less money, the pedals beat it out. If you take the wah out of the equation, it's way less money, even with the power supply and stuff. So, you know, and then you add to the fact that the Brig is probably just even in better sounding delay, or at least a more functional sounding. I have a hard time believing in we can pick out these delays being so much better than the other. They sound a little bit different, but is one so crazy good? That $30 Behringer pedal sounds fantastic. I mean, you can't debate that. You would not sit here and go, that sounds bad. Nobody would say that. You're insane if you're saying that. It sounds really, really good. And so does the Brig. We're not going to get there now, but thank you for watching. This kind of got a little bit lengthy, but it's just a fun little experiment, I guess. I don't know how scientific that was. For me, in the room, the pedals sound bigger, thicker, fuller. Whether that'll come across on Pro Tools, I don't know. Is it in my head? I don't know. I'm sticking with the pedals. Hope you enjoyed it. Bear vs. Wolf. See you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.